Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our MBA Information Session for the MBA cohort number 3 at HT. My name is Courtney Walker, and I will be one of your hosts for the evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. It looks like we have a few more people coming in to join us, but we will go ahead and get started to keep on time. Some of the things that we'll be discussing today during our MBA, during this information session, is why get an MBA? Why is it important for you all to be able to continue your education? What is unique about our program here at HT? How the classes work, how that structure is, the skills that you'll graduate with, and of course, the almighty question, how do you get started? And if you have any additional questions after we've presented, you'll have an opportunity to ask more additional questions to Dr. Edmond and myself. So to introduce your host, as I mentioned, my name is Courtney Walker. I am the enrollment manager. I've been with the adult program at HT for almost 7 years. I've been in higher education for about 10 years. I got my undergraduate degree at Prairie View, so I'm an HBCU graduate, and I also received my master's degree in psychology as well. And I'll let my co-host go ahead and introduce himself.
Good evening. I am Stephen Edmond, the Dean and Professor Emeritus. I started with HT about 20 years ago, and I was the inaugural Dean when we transitioned from a college to a university in 2005. We ended up with 2 different schools, the School of Business and Technology and the College of Arts and Sciences. I became the Dean of the School of Business and Technology in 2005, retired in 2013, and when the new president came in, she asked me to come back after 2 years of retirement, so I did, and worked for 5 years until this past June as Dean. However, in June, I retired as Dean, but I am still working on projects for the university, one of which is directing the MBA program to help it grow, to increase its enrollment and make it competitive with all other regional MBA programs. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for that introduction of yourself, Dr. Edmond. So next, I would definitely like to get an opportunity to hear from you all that are in attendance in this evening. Why get an MBA? What brings you to join us this evening to learn more about our MBA program and furthering your education? So you can use the chat function, participate with us a little bit, be a little interactive, and let us know why get an MBA. Anyone? Maybe we have some shy folks in the building. Well, through speaking with the students and also knowing the importance of continuing your education, one of the reasons is to increase the income, to increase your income. When you have your bachelor's degree, that helps you at one point, but why not continue further and go higher to increase your income even more? Starting salaries for MBA graduates are higher than they've ever been, and almost more than twice the average of a bachelor degree graduate would earn. We did get someone in the chat box. Jill, can you go ahead and read out what that comment is?
Yes, this is from Jason Brock. It says, I'm interested in advancing my career to the executive level.
Awesome. Career advancement. That's another great one. Prepare to lead in business. Over 80% of MBA graduates said that their degree helped them prepare for their chosen careers, including leadership roles. Okay, I think we have some more comments.
Yes, there's a few more. One from Tommy Coleman. I'm currently an MBA student at Tulane University. However, I'd like to come back to HBCU. And then one from Felicia. What are all of the MBAs you offer?
So with the MBA program we have right now, we currently have a concentration in management.
if I may,
Yes.
we have management only right now, concentration. But again, it all depends upon growth. Once we grow a little bit more, we expect to have a concentration in entrepreneurship and in health management. And we're looking at that within the next 3 years at least for the additional concentrations.
Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. Do we have any other comments in the chat box?
Nope, that's the last one.
May I address the person from Tulane?
Sure.
Okay. The HT MBA, if you've earned credit at any other MBA program, one that is accredited, and of course Tulane's MBA is an accredited program, I know of it well, we will accept 6 hours of transfer credits. So there you go already. If you were to transfer, you would only need 30 hours to graduate, which means you would graduate in maybe 2 semesters and one 8-week session. So if you start in August, you would probably you're going to start, let's say you're going to start in January. If you start in January, you would graduate in around October of 2021.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Dr. Edmond. See, we have someone else in the chat.
I believe she was replying to him. She just started at Tulane and only taken 3 courses. So that's great news that should be transferable.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right. Some other reasons that we've heard of students wanting to continue their education is to stand out from the competition. As we know, more people are obtaining their bachelor's degree, especially with a program like we have at HT for ADP students to work full time and continue their education and be able to continue moving forward. So why not set yourself apart and get your MBA? Actually, less than 10% of Texas residents hold a graduate level degree. For some, it may be a first time in the family for someone to obtain a graduate level degree. So set the bar. I did that with my master's degree. I beat my uncle who graduated 20 years before I did with the bachelor's. And so once I did it, he hopped on board, got his master's, and my sister got hers. So you can do the same for your family. You know, if you don't have anyone that has obtained their master's degree, show them that it is obtainable. Also, we are the oldest university at HT. We're celebrating 145 years of educating a diverse population. So that's definitely something that helps us stand apart because we hold a lot of great HBCU values near and dear to our heart in serving a very diverse population. Something else that holds us unique is the international trip that our students get an opportunity to take. Dr. Edmond, would you like to share anything about that?
Yes. We have a mandatory global trip for all students in the MBA program. Of course, because of COVID-19, this past summer, we had to cancel the trip, but we were on our way to Beijing for 10 days. And we were going to travel from Beijing to Shanghai all the way to Hong Kong, but that was canceled. So this trip here, and what happens with the trip is that we pick a project and we research a particular business in the host country, and the students will find out the economic differences, the cultural differences, the operational differences of a company in usually a developing country, and then take that research back to the US, to the classroom, and then finish a project either as a term paper or a presentation, and make a recommendation. They will recommend whether or not, if they were consultants, would they recommend investing in those particular countries. So the students get to meet all sorts of individuals, CEOs, business owners, their counterparts at the host university that we're networking with. But aside from that, the students will have a cultural trip. They do. It's not all about academics when you're on that cultural trip. You have to learn a little, not learn, but you have to experience the culture. So you're going to do a lot of sightseeing and a lot of tasting of the food, shopping, etc. So it's a really, really good trip. And it'll definitely change your mind about those developing countries if you've not traveled before. So, and it's very inexpensive. We're going to talk about the cost later, but something else I want to say. Oh, and this year, this coming summer, we have a choice of 4 locations. We're looking at Beijing again. We're looking at Peru, Lima, Peru, because it's right close to Brazil, because we always want to have many interesting things for the students to do while they're there. And then, of course, we have 2 West African countries that we're looking into as locations. We're looking at Liberia, Monrovia, Liberia. We have some good friends over there, close to Senegal, close to Abidjan. And we're looking at Abidjan, Ivory Coast. They call it Petit Paris, small little Paris, because it resembles Paris so very much. So a lot of exciting things to do, but also you're gaining academic experience over there. Awesome. And you can bring family members. Most of the students from the first cohort want to bring their spouses and their kids, and that's allowable in certain areas, safe areas.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That makes me think about wanting to get an MBA, get some travel in with that.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. And so some other things that make us unique are the professors. They're experienced professionals with successful business careers, but some of them are also HBCU graduates. That means they know you because they were you, and they know exactly how to help you. So speaking of some of the professors you'll encounter, I'll let Dr. Edmond take it away and talk about some of those professors that we have in the MBA program.
Thank you. Thank you. And in fact, I am a product of an HBCU. I did my second degree at Texas Southern University in Houston. What an experience after going to a majority school for the first degree and finding out that actually I transferred to, I did my first degree at the University of Louisiana, which was totally different. And then went in the military, got out of the military, went to University of Houston for a semester before I learned that just across the street, there was a Texas Southern University. I took a summer course there and did not look back. I felt so comfortable there. I mean, I can talk with the professors. They would answer my questions as compared to the other schools. So I fell in love with Texas Southern University. So I would like that all my faculty members would have attended a HBCU because they have a different perspective on education. Jason Carter, Dr. Carter, very young professor, one of the best marketing professors that we have at the university right now. And he's a management professor, but he received his degree, but wanted to move because he was in some little northern town, west of Dallas. And he came down here just to get away from there. And he ended up working as an auditor for about 4 or 5 years before I found him. And I gave him a job as an adjunct, and he was so good that I almost begged him. I had to beg him to quit his job to come to HT. And he's been a great undergraduate professor. And last year when we launched the MBA, I tried him in the graduate level. He had not taught at the graduate level before. He was voted one of the best professors in the MBA program. It was amazing. And he's good. He will work you, but he's fair. And that's Dr. Carter. Oh, Laura Hughes, MBA and JD. She started with us about 4 or 5 years ago as an ADP instructor. She taught business law or ethical environment of business. And she's a real life lawyer. She had a job here in the city as a lawyer. And she just recently moved back home to St. Louis to do real estate, but she is still with us. She flies when COVID-19 is over. She actually flies to HT to teach her ADP classes. And she's doing the law class, or the business ethical environment class is an online class. So she does not have to fly back for that class there. She is great. She is serious. And as you can see, a graduate of Clark Atlanta University. I taught at Clark for about 15 years, and that is one of the superior schools in all of the United States. And Ms. Hughes is a graduate of that. As a matter of fact, I was there still when she was an undergraduate. And she's, as you can see, she founded the Fleur de Lis Development Corporation, which is her real estate business. So she's building high rises in St. Louis, and she's really doing a lot. Oh, Dr. Bonouet. What an interesting guy there. He's teaching management as well, undergraduate and graduate. I hired him as a full-time, we hired him as a full-time management professor for the MBA. And we needed some help in undergraduate, so he's helping out in undergraduate as well. But he's a go-to man. He teaches, let me tell you what oh, there it is, right there. He's got about 4 or 5 degrees. He's got 3 masters, I believe, and a PhD. He's got a master's in accounting. He has a CPA. He's got a master's in finance. He's got his CP certified, well, his license. I forget what here, his CFA, and all these other alphabets. He teaches our accounting course, our finance course, and he also teaches our strategic management course. So, and he's hilarious. He likes to make jokes in class. Very serious professor, but again, this gentleman is very fair. If you work with him, he will work with you. So those are just 3. I think we have about 8 total faculty members, but those are just 3 of the faculty members that we have, and they're all A-level faculty members. We do not keep them long if we get a bad evaluation on them. So these 3 have always received great evaluations. We've had a few in the past that we've tried, but they're no longer with us because we want to make sure that we have some top-rate professors to make sure that they share their experience with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for discussing the faculty. All right. Oops, sorry. Let me go back. Clicking the wrong thing. So something else that makes us unique is the requirements. You do not have to take a GMAT or the GRE to get started with us here at HT. We don't want to have that initial barrier for you. So you do not have to worry about taking those exams. If you have taken them, great. But if you have not, you do not have to let that be a barrier for you to want to move forward with our program here.
May I say something about that
Sure.
GMAT? And as Ms. Walker said, it's been a barrier for many of us to enter the MBA by taking the GMAT because our scores just do not rank as high as they should. So we did away with that. However, other factors will weigh more heavily in the admission decision because they're in lieu of the GMAT. Like for instance, your academic transcripts, very important. You know, we generally ask that you have a 3.0 GPA to get into the program. And we want to see work and managerial experience. And of utmost importance is the MBA interview. So those three, of course, we ask for other criteria for the other requirements, but those three are weighed very heavily in our decision to accept/deny your application. The academic transcripts, the work and managerial experience that you have, and the interview.
Awesome. Thank you. So a little bit about how our classes work, how the MBA program works. It is initially built to be blended, where you will take classes at the campus and online on Friday or Saturday. This fall, as some of you may have heard, HT as a whole is online due to COVID-19. Right now, we are not sure where the spring will lead us at this point. We're waiting on Dr. Burnett to let us know how we'll resume in the spring, but do know at some point, if we are online in the spring, we will eventually go back to meeting in person. And again, that class will either be a Friday evening or Saturday morning, either online or at the campus. And so the program is year round. So you will be taking classes during the spring, summer, and fall semesters. And the way that they're broken up is you will have 2 sessions per semester, as Dr. Edmond kind of highlighted before. You will take 2 8-week classes in session 1. And then you can also have another opportunity to take 2 additional classes in session 2. Which leads me to the next slide to talk about the length of how long it can take to complete our program. You can complete it as soon as 12 months by taking 2 classes each session year round, which will leave you to 4 classes per semester. Or if something is not allowing you to take that, say 1 additional course in that semester, you can take 2 courses one session and then 1 course another session. That will leave you at like 3 classes a semester, which will allow you to finish in about 18 months. All right, do you have any questions on that? No questions so far in the chat? Okay. All right. And so skills that we're looking at graduating with. HT constantly, and Dr. Edmond, I'm sure can contest to this, reviews the job market data to know the top skills that organizations are hiring for today to help ensure that we are preparing you for what you need, the skills you'll need for leadership, management, and career progression moving forward. Our program is accredited by the Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs, which is one of the 2 accrediting bodies for business schools. And so, you know, we voluntarily up for accreditation so that we can be looked at and identified as an accredited school, and knowing that we're meeting certain standards that are set for business schools. Is there anything that you would like to add in regards to the accreditation part of it, Dr. Edmond?
Ms. Courtney, can we go back to the previous slide, please, about the courses? Reviews job there. Okay, then the next one, yes. The next one.
This one?
The next one. There we go.
Oh, this one.
The one that, okay, the one that talks about the review of the courses.
This one.
Okay. We let me tell you, we offer a course called Data Analytics, and we had some local organizations to just review and sit in on us when we were determining the number, the different types of courses that we were adding, and they are the ones that suggested that we add a data analytics course. They're saying that if that's on the student's resume, they stand a better chance of getting a job over a student without data analytics on their transcript or resume. So that's a big, in 2020 and beyond, knowing data analytics is a major plus. It brings value to your resume.
Awesome.
So that is one of the courses that you will take at the HT when you're enrolled in the HT MBA. Okay.
Thank you for that.
And the accreditation, I can say that. Yeah, it took
Okay.
us, let's see, we're ACBSP accredited. That means the School of Business is accredited. Every year we have to do reports and every to send to the accreditation to make sure that we're continually upgrading our curriculum and making sure that we have the best professors around. And that was a lengthy process to get accredited. I started it, the School of Business and Technology used to be very small. I think we had, we started with 2 professors. And so I started working on this accreditation thing then. And it was not until we could get about 3 or 4 more professors that we finally had enough people to help write this thing, this proposal. And the accreditation, the ACBSP sent 3 people over, evaluators, to evaluate the whole program before they decided, yes, this school is one of the best. It fits into the criteria of great schools, and not too many. When we received that accreditation back in 2013, St. Edward's Business School was not accredited, and several others. I think it was just the University of Texas, ACC, Concordia was not even. So that was quite an achievement, and I'm proud to display that on my recruitment material when I go around the world to recruit. But yeah, you are attending a school, or if you do attend a school, you will be attending a school that is of top quality.
Like those 2 words, top quality. Awesome. And so some of the skills you'll graduate with is management, supervising a project, team, or organization to ensure all moving parts are working together effectively. And so some of those, a couple of those classes that you will gain, learn those skills from will be your human resource management class, along with project management. You'll also learn budgeting, plan how financial resources are separate to make the most are spent to make the most impact on company-wide goals. Classes you will learn this from will be accounting for decision making, as well as financial management concepts. Problem solving, always good to know and be great at problem solving skills. You'll develop creative solutions to complex issues within an organization. And you'll learn that in research methods along with decision theory and business analytics. How do I get started? That is a great question. Thanks you guys for asking. So some of the things that we look at as far as admission criteria would be, of course, a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university. As Dr. Edmond mentioned earlier, GPA is important. So we do look at a 3.0 or higher. If for some reason you're not there, you're close to it, definitely let us know, and we can still look at moving forward and letting you speak with Dr. Edmond to see if we can allow you to possibly continue on a conditional basis that you prove yourself, that you obtain, you keep the correct GPA that's needed to be an MBA student. Also, we look for 2 years of full-time work experience. And again, don't forget, we do not require the GRE or the GMAT. And within the process, of course, you'll do the application. We'll also look for your current resume, a personal statement telling us a little bit about yourself, and also 2 letters of recommendation. And as of right now, for those of you who are looking to move forward and apply to our MBA program, we are currently waiving the $100 application fee. And so our deadline is November 30th to get everything in and get you over to Dr. Edmond so that he can schedule your interview. So if this is something that you are interested in moving forward with, we definitely encourage that you start the application process with us as soon as possible so that we can help you gather all the documents needed to complete your application process and get you over to Dr. Edmond by the 30th. All right, and so for our MBA program, our classes will be starting January 8th and 9th. Here's a number and email address you can use to contact us. If you have not been in contact with an enrollment coach at this point, you can call the number and it'll get you over to someone, or email us and we can definitely reach out as well. And now for the exciting part, Q&A. So this will be an opportunity. You can raise your hand and I'll unmute you and you can ask any questions that you have about the program, anything that maybe we have not covered. This will be your opportunity to ask us those questions. So just raise your hand and I will unmute you. And Dr. Edmond, while I'm waiting on that, if there's anything else that you would like to share, please feel free to do so at this time.
Well, let me give you a story of one of the graduates of our first cohort. The first cohort started in August 19 and they just graduated in August 20. We started with 9 students and 5 made it all the way through. The COVID-19 messed up a few. They had certain responsibilities that didn't allow them to continue, even though they were so close, but they'll be back with COVID-2 to catch up the classes. But most of the students who enroll in the HT MBA program, they come with jobs. As you can tell, we're looking for experience. We've had some students who are managers, upper managers with Facebook, some with nonprofits, and one gentleman already had a job. Matter of fact, my former student back here, I taught him in 2010, and he came back and got his job, decided to get his degree. And I was so impressed with this young man. I was talking with him just last week when he got a call from a firm in Dallas, Texas. He already had a good job over here. But when he sent the resume and said that he had just finished his MBA, just to show you the importance of having an MBA, he received the job in Dallas, even though they wanted him to work remotely over here, in the 6 figures. He had never made anything remotely close to a 6-figure salary before. And here he is. Oh, I shouldn't be showing his face, I guess. I was surprised. I mean, this guy was shouting over the phone. He's got a job in Dallas, working in Austin, 6 figures. And that's what an MBA can do for you. It can help you to rise up in your corporation, move in your corporation as far as advancement is concerned. Also, if you're looking to leave your corporation, it can, with that MBA, it can open doors and it can increase your salary, believe me, because the salary from having an MBA, undergraduate degree to that of having an MBA, you're talking about $10,000 to $25,000 different. A difference of $25,000, as this gentleman can tell you. So just, if you enroll into the program, just be serious, get in there. It's going to be, I'll be honest with you, it's very challenging, but if you stick to it, you learn how to balance your academics with your social life, your family, and your work, then you will be so happy and you will see the rewards upon graduating.
Awesome. Thank you for that good story. I don't know if it makes you guys want to get MBA, but it makes me think about it when I hear that story. But I don't see any hands raised. So again, if you have any additional questions, this is definitely the time to ask questions while we have Dr. Edmond on the phone. This is his baby. And so anything you have that we did not cover that you're wondering about, don't be shy. Ask your question. No, the only silly question is the one not asked. All right. So I have Tommy Coleman. You can go ahead. Just unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just wanted to know the cost per semester.
Per semester, let's see. I'm going to take a stab because I don't have it before me. I think it's $700 per unit, or should I say per quarter.
So, I know as a year, so let's say you do it as the whole year, it's about 31,000. That's including the global trip.
Yeah, for the whole year, 31.5.
As well. So you can kind of split that into three. So a little over 10,000 a semester.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
And you can apply for financial aid as well. Unfortunately, as of holding a bachelor's degree, we don't get Pell Grant, but there are still student loans that can help you, or if your company offers reimbursement for yourself, definitely take advantage of that opportunity if they have that available.
Well, on financial aid, you have an unsubsidized loan that you're allowed. That pays up to $20,500. So that's still not the 30,000 that you need. But then you can also get a graduate plus loan for graduate students, and that's about another $20,000 there. So you can get actually more than the 31.5 that you need to pay for all of your tuition and expenses.
Great.
Awesome. And any other questions, Ms. Tommy?
No, that was it for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. It looks like we have a question in the chat. Oh, Sam, it was cost as well. Okay. Any other questions? Feel free to raise your hand. I can unmute you and you can ask away. We're not getting any hands raised. It makes me think we did a really good job, Dr. Edmond.
Well, you did, truly.
So if there are no other questions, we could definitely go ahead and end this webinar, this information session, and definitely thank you all for joining us. And again, classes start January 8th and 9th. Our hard deadline to get everything turned in to get you an interview is November 30th. So if you have not started the application process, definitely call this number or call an enrollment coach you've been working with, if it's Tyrus or Jill or myself, and we will definitely help get you going and move you towards getting your applications turned in and one step closer to interviewing with Dr. Edmond and getting you in, hopefully in the MBA program, so you can get closer to that pay increase, that promotion, whatever it is that's pushing you, driving you, motivating you to complete your MBA.
And if I may,
yes, sir.
December 30th, right, is the deadline for applications. And then on December 4, 5, and 6, we have the interview. And by December 7th, students will be notified of their acceptance status. And then on December 12th, we have the virtual MBA orientation. So we're trying we're doing all this before school ends. So in January, all you have to do, because you will have registered and paid for your tuition before Christmas. So in January, you just come and get ready for class on the 8th. You will have
to put the heat on. I'm hot. You ain't hot?
All right, go ahead.
You will have your textbooks by then and your assignments before you go home for Christmas.
Awesome. Thank you for that additional information. We appreciate it. So good night, everyone. Again, thank you for attending. Oh, let me see. Do we have a question? Oh, you're welcome. Have a good evening. Stay warm out there. And we look forward to hearing from you all.
Thank you, Dr. Edmonds and Courtney.
Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Felicia.
Bye.
Bye-bye.